Joining us now from Australia anyhow, and I can't see her, so I apologise for that, Jack. I don't know if you can see me. No, of course you can't because you're on the phone. It is
Yeah.
Jaqui Lane. Welcome from Sydney. Good on you. Nice to talk to you.
You gotta love updates.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? Yeah. There was one update last year, I think, to do with banking in this country. Nothing to do with it, but it managed to take out all the ATMs for a while. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Jack.
that's the life we live in. Yes.
It is indeed. Unfortunately, it's not a great improvement, I have to say, in service. Can I ask you, Jack? I asked you this question last week, and you made a bit of a bet about it. When is Australia going to the polls?
Oh, look, I keep saying I think he's going to go early, and given the the inflation figures coming down this week, I think he'll go right after the RBA meeting on the 18th of February. So he'll call it on the 19th of February, and I think it'll be the end of March, because I think everyone's going to bank on an interest rate decline. So I think the odds-on bets now is that the Reserve Bank will come out and cut interest rates at their first meeting.
Now, the polling is sort of bitsy throughout the country, obviously. You have quite distinct, if you like, different electoral outcomes in New South Wales and South Australia, Victoria, than you might in Queenstown, West Australia, etc. But you still have so it's electorate by electorate, fought electorate by electorate, our old first past the post system with the added twist of preferential voting. On the basis of that, you have to fight electorate by electorate. What's the election looking like?
Marginal. I mean, most people are calling that it may well be a hung parliament, with the independents, holding the balance of power or whatever, which is, it is what it is. So the fight really is twofold. Obviously between Libs and Labor, but and then you've got independents wanting to hold on to their seats, and then you have a bunch of new independents contesting a bunch of new seats. And I was looking at that the other day, and I think there are 12 or 14 new seats that are going to be contested by new independents, and only one of those 12 or 14 are Labor. So the Liberals will be in a so that's very skewed. There have been some electoral boundary changes. So the Libs have a huge task to get to even a hung parliament situation. However, Dutton's polling very, very well, and Albo continues to underperform. So it's going to be very interesting. So it's going to be complicated, because not only do the Libs have to kind of claw back to the Labor majority, but then they have these new independents contesting a whole range of their own seats.
So how many make up the House of Representatives? What's the total number? It must be 18.
Oh God!
I shouldn't have asked that question. I knew that as soon as I asked that question, I went, oh, okay.
I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to...
I think I can answer that question. Wait on, 16, 21, carry 2, 12, 14, 151? Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, something like that. If I was more involved, I would know that number, of course.
No, I think I've just added it up.
151, yeah.
151, yeah, I am right. Yeah. Okay.
And then, of course, we've got Senate seats as well. The Senate as well as the House of Rep. Yeah.
So the current Australian Parliament is made up of 78 members of the Australian Labor Party, of that 151. Yep. 55 members of the opposition, so that's quite a big gap. And then you've got 6 minor parties. The Greens make up 4 of those 6 votes, and then 12 independents. I guess the big stress that goes upon independents who are standing, because I'm getting a feeling that they probably lean more Labor than they do Liberal, but is who will you align with if you are elected and there is a minority government? Every one of them would have to answer that question, wouldn't they?
Oh, definitely. And, various people and parties have come out and said, we will not be doing a deal with the Greens, or we won't do a deal So all of that argy-bargy is going on at the moment. The independents, you have to do a deal with each one of them kind of thing. And each independent absolutely has to make that decision. And I know in the seat that I'm in, where Allegra Spender is our independent candidate, she won't align with anybody. And she didn't in the last election, which was unusual.
So the big question would usually be asked, certainly in New Zealand, if you're an independent, how much better can you serve your constituents who elect you, given that there are 12 in the Australian Parliament? What's the answer to that?
It depends on how you think independents should act.
Well, I want stuff for my electorate, probably. I want schools, I want hospitals, health services, yeah.
So a true independent would be independent, and of course they will vote with, they will cast their vote on particular policies and how it best helps them achieve what they want for their electorate. It's an obscure answer, isn't it? Basically, they will make a decision based on what's best for them and their electorate. If they do, so the leading party has to negotiate all the time, with every independent.
The other thing that strikes me is that if there is a minority Labor government, so let's just say Labor doesn't get a majority of the seats, I'm working on the theory that with the Greens having 4 votes, the independents would tend to align or certainly give votes on confidence and budget supply issues, would they, to the party with the most seats?
Yes, they would, typically, yes.
So really, looking at the stats and looking at the electorates and looking at it, Labor must be favoured to still be the government, even if in a minority capacity after March, mustn't it?
The commentators are kind of either could happen, because Albanese is just performing so badly now. So a prime minister can lose an election. So this RBA decision on the 18th of February, the media are saying that if interest rates are lowered, that obviously that will be a huge boost to Labor. But I almost think it's too late. It's not going to solve the cost of living crisis, the housing crisis, the Labor Party's seemingly appalling response to this anti-Semitic attacks that keep going and keep getting worse. They've really been behind the 8 ball on so many key issues.